Hi, bunnies. It's me, Jason Martinez, up here with another storytime video. A lot of people have their ups and downs in life, and obviously, I kind of, I'm not really in that area where I'm too bad where I am right now. I've never had a traumatic moment like in my past. Sometimes you would say, damn, that really sucked, and nothing would happen in the future, and then sometimes it would be like, that really sucked, and it would get stuck in your head. I would say the time where Moist Critical, his lung collapsed. You see, that was traumatic, but it didn't stay in his head. No. When he ate the ghost pepper, though, now that was bad. But no, bunnies, I'm not gonna be talking about ghost peppers or lungs collapsing. I mean, you don't know what can happen in the future. At this point, my asthma is so bad that just by sniffing a bit of dust, I'm already going to wheeze in danger. No, I'm not going to be talking about that. What I'm going to be talking about today is the moment in time where I shat myself so bad, I developed an OCD that can rival Double D. From that show Steven Universe. So yeah, I actually, well, as a normal human, I did shit myself one time pretty badly, and I'll admit it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. I didn't like it. But here's the catch. The shit was so unholy, it was so foul and perpetual, that it actually developed an OCD in my head. It actually manufactured an OCD inside of my brain. It was disgusting. So let me just get straight into the meat here. I was 4 to 5 years old, and as every 4 and 5 years old did, I had a little bit of a nappy time with my parents, because obviously that's how everyone sleeps. You slept with your mother one time, you know it. So obviously before I went to sleep, I took a good eating time. I was eating some foodies. And what ended up happening in that time, or not what ended up happening, what I had at the time is, or what I've always had, I have a pretty bad stomach. Like, for some reason, my stomach just can't take most foods. Like, it can digest them, but for some reason, it will always give me diarrhea into an extent where it feels like hell. It's an inferno down there. I don't know why. I can't change it. It's just how my body acts to, I guess, food. Anyways, at the time, I had not just a bad stomach, I had a really bad and weak stomach. My stomach was a pussy. Like, it could not take 90% of foods, and when it did digest them, it was pure water that came out of my ass. It was like that girl that said that she made like a chug jug, whatever the hell she made, that she was in Dr. Phil, and it had so much salt that it gave you immense diarrhea, but yeah, I had that, but I didn't have to drink like 10 gallons of pure unadulterated dog shit on a jar to get that. I just got it naturally by eating whatever the hell I ate that day. So I ended up eating, and before I even slept, I went to the bathroom. I just peed. Nothing really happened. But then I would say that around 3 to 5 a.m., my parents were woken up to the unholy siren call of my wailing. I just took the nicest shit, and it was bad. I would say that the reason why I was crying wasn't because the shit that accumulated in my pants gave me a rash on the walls of my ass cheeks. No, it wasn't because of that. It was actually because of the disgusting texture that the shit had on my ass. That it was really, really bad. Like, it wasn't just bad, but it was disgusting. It felt like hot soup, like chunks of soup. But if someone poured it down my pants and just kept it there for like 3 hours, it felt like that. It was pure diarrhea at that point. I was having a bad time. It wasn't even the rash that was like making me feel bad. It was the texture. It was the idea that all of that shit is piled up on my pants right now, and I just could not take it. So what ended up happening was, I woke up my parents, and for some reason my mom knew that I just shat myself. She heard a fart, like in the middle of the night, and for some reason, instead of like waking us up to at least check if I actually did, took a nice dookie on my pants. She didn't do anything. She just kept sleeping. 3 hours later, she was awoken by my unholy siren call. So maybe she deserved it at that point. I don't know, but the phase of me having to go through that was so traumatic to me that it ended up developing an OCD. It's not really an OCD. I just like to call it that. I have an OCD that I can't take stains and I can't take things sticky on my body or anything that isn't supposed to be on my body and it's gross. I hate it. If I touch sugar, the stickiness of the sugar, it literally feels like cyanide on my finger. I touch a bit of juice or I dip my finger in sauce by accident when I'm trying to like scoop salsa with a tostito. What happens? It ends up feeling like liquid mercury. Why? Because I can't take it. It's literally absolute torture for me to do that. And I'm trying to grab it with my fingertips, and what ends up happening is I still end up just getting just Doritos fingers all over my goddamn fingers. For some reason, I have no idea why. I'm grabbing it literally with my nails, and like I grab it like this, all of my finger gets. But yeah, if you're ever ashamed about shitting yourself in public or just shitting yourself at all, just remember, it's not as bad as shit that I took all of that time ago, because at least you didn't develop an OCD and you got traumatized by that shit you took. So just remember that. Your shits will probably never be as unholy and as foul as mine. Later, bunnies.